I think this hand's fine. It's just missing the Ascendancy. We have a lot of ways to find it. If you look at the list, let me pull it up once more. Hang on, just resetting the cam. I don't know why it's doing that. Is there a command to link the emotes? It's the second post. I got you. Looks like that. Risk it is spawn risk. Spawn brew is spawn brew. Okay, so affinity. Now if we combo quickly, we can win this game 1. But if he has a quick hand, we're pretty toasted. Let's see if he can... Oh, wow. Okay. But no follow-up. That's good. Alright, so we could aggressively Serum Vision. That's pretty aggressive. He's only on 2 cards, though. So I kind of like either end-step peeking, or we can pop off the Serum Vision and dig for the Ascendancy. I'm going to dig for the Ascendancy. Wasting 2. Thanks for the holy Ascendancy, Batman. Bottom top. Oh. Is there something wrong with the brew emote? No. It's just spawn brew. So next turn we play the Caryatid. We can play Caryatid off of basic planes to save on life points. We did shock ourselves to play the Fountain to Serum Vision turn 1. So we want to be careful that we don't, you know, lose to damage. So here we can afford to get, or no, we can't. No, I need to cast my. All right, it's probably red source then, red green source. Yeah, I was thinking this is breeding pool for some reason. Yicon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Imspesh. Do I play peaks and probes? Yes, playset of probe 3 peak in this latest version. This is 2.8. Let me know if the camera's freezing. I can't tell with the new rig. These are all flying, so I can't quite block, of course. Caryatid's on the ground. We're nearly ready to go off next turn. We actually could start going off next turn if we want to. If we play Temple Guard and shock ourselves, let's try to go off. So here's the Ascendancy. And I think the first cantrip I want to use is the Peak, because I'm not sure what colors I'm floating with the Cerulean Wisps. This will also give us some information, let us know if there's a burn spell like Galvanic Blast in the opponent's hand. Hand is cut off. Alchemist says it is lagging. The cam is lagging. That's not good. We're going to pitch land. Hang on a sec, let me... Alright. It is the blast, so we have to play around the blast. It's funny that I, like, knew. I'm just kind of feeling. Because he probably would have played it if it was anything else. So probably Vision is where we go next. So let's get some triggers. Alright, thanks for the feedback, guys. It's better now while I reset it. We're going to pitch the Wisps, I think. You don't have to. We could pit a Whisper. Crimson Wisp we might need, because we might need to turn on another Caryatid. That's its function. It's only a 1-of, so it might be more precious than the Whisper. We want to keep 1 Whisper. The Ceruleans you can't pitch, it's extra mana. This nets mana. It generates extra mana in our deck, kind of like maybe like a Manamorphose does in Storm, I guess, is an equivalent. So do we take this second Caryatid? Do we take the second Caryatid? Maybe. Peak's fine. We just drew into a Glittering Wish. Did I get a haircut? If not, you like my hair. What? Thank you. Not if we're trying to storm out this turn. It's actually not a storm deck, Apache. Actually, we can Glittering Wish into a Tapper, but I'd almost rather Glittering Wish into the Hydra form. Although there's a merit to having Hexproof. I mean, we know about the Blast. So actually, this is kind of an instance where you might even be considering topping a Caryatid. So let's draw into the Caryatid. So we're going to Cerulean. No. Yes. And float blue. This is where you have to make some tough decisions. We're not ready to go off with the Whispers. Now, we have to Cerulean a second time to get the second Caryatid on the board. So it would look something like this. Hang on, let's not make that mistake. Let's float green because green casts Glittering or Caryatid. We don't want to lock ourselves out of our colors. The colors that you float in this deck are very important. Very important. Do I play Thought Scour? Nope. Some versions do. There's several very important reasons why we don't, and I'll explain that in just a hot second. So I think you either float blue here or you float white. White can also cast the colorless on the Caryatid. Okay, there's the Surgical. That's going to net us mana. So actually we can play second Caryatid now, which is great. So you can play second Caryatid and then Crimson Wisp the Summoning Sick Caryatid. Well, the only one to notice is that motor frame is stretched. Do you want me to size it? I can resize it. Is that bothering you? Does it look better if I do this? How does that look? Okay, so red, crimson, the Summoning Sick Caryatid. This is going to turn on the Caryatid. Pitch the extra land. And now we have two tappers, and now we can kind of go crazy. No worries. Do we need an attack, or are we going for the blood win condition? I think I'm going for blood, just for time's sake. We're, you know. So let's Glit Wish. We're either getting second Ascendancy here, or we're going to get the draw spell. I'm actually going to start with the draw spell. This is a Scar Scale Ritual. This is a really neat cantrip that only this deck really can pull off. I don't think you'd ever use it in any other deck ever. Pitch a Rainforest, draw 2. Fate Stitcher, excellent. So we're going to... Now I'm going to kind of go a little fast now. I can't really spend too much time explaining now. It is a pretty trigger-intensive deck, and we are behind a few minutes, so we're going to bottom top. Excuse me, we're going to put... So we almost have the Whisper. We need a second Ascendancy or more tappers. So we're going to bring back the Stitcher. He can Gal Blast it if he wants. It's fine. I have ways to get value out of this Stitcher. I'll show you how. We're going to untap our Hallowed Fountain. What's up, Meme Dragon? You were going to net mana off Wisp anyway. Yes, we were. So in response to the Gal Blast, I can Surgical. We don't really want to draw any more lands. I could get rid of the Lumbering Falls. I just want to get some value out of this guy. Probably hit Falls. So we're going to float. Probably blue. Untaps. Untap another source. Pitch Stitch. Oh, we were going to Surgical that away, and we drew into it. That's funny. Say okay. We'll take the one that's out of the deck, obviously not the one in my hand. We don't need to get the one out of the graveyard. Just say okay. And in response to this blast, I can almost do the Whisper. I technically could just cast the Whisper to get more mana out of this Stitcher, but I'm not going to do that. I'd rather buy this back later down the line. So we're just going to let that go through. This is going to untap. Yes. And now we can do the 8 mana Awesome, which is buy back Whisper. Anytime you have a chance to buy back Whisper, you do it. So say okay. We'll discard a land. Draw 2. The Taxiing Probe is great. And now we just need to go through the motions. So probably Serum. Yes. Pitch. Oh, actually, we're supposed to pitch the... well, we already made land drops. So both of these are great. I would say top, top. And tap. Tap, tap. Probe. This is generating extra mana. Pitch the Caryatid. Say okay. And Glittering Wish. This deck is closer to eggs. I don't like to put in the same vein as eggs, but I guess you could make that comparison. Oops. Forgot to bring back this Stitch. We could have done that a lot sooner. Apologize. Didn't see it. And there's a lot of things to be paying attention to when you play this. We can almost Whisper again. I was just checking how much we can float. So let's Glitwish, I think, for second Ascension, so we can kind of go infinite. Or you could grab the kill spell. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do at this point. We have a 12-15 Caryatid, so we could grab the Flesh Blood and then just cast a bunch of spells. I think Ascendancy makes it easier, though. It's more triggers to deal with, but if I'm diligent and I'm probably doing a Whisper, so it's okay to just float some white there. That was a little lazy, I'll admit, because Caryatid's fast tap for that particular color, and now we can make blue. And again, any opportunity to buy back the Whisper, you do. So we go untap, tap, tap, untap a land, untap, tap, tap, untap a red-green source. Yes. Pitch. Yes. Pitch. There's the last Stitcher. Let's bring him back before we cast any more spells. Untap. Yes. Taxing. And you guys kind of see what's going on now. Yes. Yes. Full float some blue in there. You don't want to make the mistake of, you know, floating too much of one particular color. And now you guys kind of see we have like a lot of different colors of mana, which is good. I have no idea what's happening, but it looks awesome. So this is Ascendancy. It is a really neat deck. Probe. Obviously, there's nothing left in hand. I think he's just Deadsies, right? Alright, so let's just find the last wish. Gonna use the white mana because that's what we float most of. So the buyback is it's essentially infinite mode. We could also just maybe attack him, so I'll tap the Thopter. Float, float. Untap, untap. Yes. Pitch. Yes. Pitch. Draw 2. There's the Wind Zendikon. We can animate the Hollowed Fountain, which is neat. Actually, I think he's just dead to the Stitchers now, right? Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Untap, untap. Discard the Revival. Discard Steam Vents. Now we have the Zendikon. So what is that? 11 lethal, nearly? Just need to pump the fountain, right? Wind Zendikon is what we're using. Untap, untap. Let's untap a blue source. I haven't been being diligent about floating blue. Whisper. Click, 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 click. Triggers. Why not get back Wish? We could have. Actually, that would have been fine. I didn't think to do it. Good call. Blue. Da, 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 da. Bum, bum, bum. A lot of triggers to keep. I mean, this is a lot easier in paper for sure. I certainly don't recommend you guys. There's the last Stitch. I certainly don't recommend you guys if you're not dedicated to the deck and learning and how to. There's the Glitwish, now we kill. We'll just go through these. I'll just float those. Float, float, float. Yes.